Oh, load screen. So we have left our ability to go back anywhere. Pick up some flares.
You say load screen, but it's like not even now that we have the power of modern technology.
Yeah, I'm sure the people playing this in 1997 were not using a 4.2 gigahertz processor. Welcome to Napoli.
Okay. So as I was saying, like when I almost spoiled the fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the moment where the game goes, oh, you know, all those like corridors and self-contained nah, have a planet.
Yeah. This is what people... Again, this game came out in 1997. It would take until 4 years later, 2001's Halo, in case you've ever heard of that, for this little-known console called the Xbox, for people to really try this again, of just, like, large, Vista-like areas, outdoors, in a shooter. I mean, I'm not gonna knock Halo too much, but it basically just did this again. I mean, sure, this game's not as pretty, like, fidelity-wise, but it knows what to do with its graphic design.
One moment, please.
Aye, aye. Oops. Alright, those guys are, bad for me.
I appear to have... Oh, okay, never mind. It's all good. Alright, all is well. And we can hear you again, which is excellent.
That's good. So, yeah.
Like I said, if you're watching my version of the video, don't watch Reckons.
So we just explored, like, a little pond sort of thing, and we were attacked by a school of native wildlife, some fish.
Oh yeah, those guys. They're jerks. I tried to shoot them, it didn't go great.
Oh, I got them. But this is something... Wow, that was impressive. That other games just didn't do. They have... Unreal has native wildlife. Now, the fish cared about us because they tried to eat us, but, like, these bugs I'm looking at flying around, these birds up in the sky, they don't care about us. They're not enemies. They're just here because this is a planet, and planets have animals on them.
It's actually funny because, like, Halo, when they were developing it, a big thing was like, oh yeah, look at, we're gonna have wildlife in our game, and then they did.
Yeah.
Which, you know, kind of funny.
We see, I stepped into it briefly, but this is a house. This is a purposefully built stone and shingle structure that probably was not made by our crew. Oh, contact with members of ISV Cran. And first mention of the aliens by name, the Scar. The J is silent, as Unreal Tournament 2004 would show us.
It would show us the way.
Yeah.
Are you still at the hut?
I'm in the hut.
Awesome detail I want to point out. The fireplace actually has somewhere for the smoke to go.
It does. I'm looking at that right now.
Like, I don't think, like, modern developers would put that in there, but only because they have to model it accurately. Like, this is a time in development where that's something that the designer had to actually think of and go, no, it's going to need a thing, because that's how fireplaces work.
Yeah. And see, I've just thrown a flare. So...
I shall also do this. Yeah. I'm going to also throw a flare in the fishy pond, because screw those guys.
But this is what I'm talking about with visual storytelling. The game Unreal has these little details. Like, it has bugs and weird plants that don't do anything. It's a game full of stuff that doesn't immediately matter. Which makes it kind of matter all the more, because it shows that they went to that effort.
Well, I'm of the opinion that, like, graphical fidelity does not affect my immersion at all. If everything looks equally shitty, then I can get immersed in your world.
Mm-hmm.
But details, man, you like. If I had gone into that hut and the fireplace didn't have somewhere for the smoke to go, my immersion is immediately broken.
Yeah.
So, like, I get more invested in your world when you put in shit that just does not matter and does not affect me at all. Because then it convinces me that the world would exist without me.
Yeah. And this is,
you know,
this is what this game's great about. You're not here for any purpose. You're here because this ship crashed.
This improbably small ship based on the interior dimensions.
But now we're here. This area does have a name. This is NyLeve's Falls. And okay, sure, this is not the most impressive waterfall you'll ever see in a video game. But put yourself in 1998. This is the largest area. Yeah. But in 1998, this is most likely the largest 3D space you have ever inhabited. It's filled with this massive cliff, this shimmering water, and a massive, massive waterfall spilling out of the side of a mountain.
You know what? These bird creatures that are flying around, that's actually, I've just realized that the person who decided to put those in there is brilliant, because birds are the best way to illustrate scale.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see, like, the silhouette of a bird in the distance, you immediately know how far away something is.
Yeah.
So, like, they are selling the scale of this environment by putting those little things in there.
Exactly. So what's funny is...
Because that's... Sorry, you go.
There is a way through. We can go down in this little area. But if you want to get down to that house, you can just jump off the side of this cliff into the water.
Oh, you totally can, and that's actually what I did the first time I played this.
Yeah.
You know, because I thought it would kill me, and I was like, oh.
But we'll go the real
Give it
way.
a shot. I will also go the real way.
So right now we're aware of a couple things, and that is that we are a prisoner 849. We were on the vessel, the Vortex Rikers. We have crashed on a planet that is called Anapali, but hasn't been named yet. There seems to be an indigenous race. There is a hostile alien race, and they're called the Scar. And there's another one of our ships here already.
Whoa! Hello there, friend. I've encountered a native.
Ah.
I mean, you know, he started it.
Certainly did. Now, we get to another thing, dynamic music. Combat kicks in, you know it. So we're down there right now. There's actually... Unreal is a... It is technically a linear game. It's just the areas are most often quite enormous. So there are always a couple ways to go before you have to leave.
So yeah, you're chopping in and out a fair bit for me. If I'm not giving you anything to work with here, it's because I can't actually understand most of what you're saying.
That is unfortunate.
I'm sorry, my internet's terrible. I'm sure that your insights are much more profound than my own.
Well.
Oh, yeah, that's... Oh, okay. That leads down, I forgot. You know, making more friends with the natives. We should talk about how, like, you get the pistol, and then, the pistol's alternate fire is I'm gonna hold it sideways and shoot it real quick.
I've already,
okay.
done that.
Okay, good.
I haven't talked about it, but I have held it sideways.
Okay. Oh, right. I've just bumped into another native, a more friendly sort of fellow, right here. This guy. I'm, you know, just gonna take that. Thanks, bud.
Alright.
See, there's more great visual storytelling for you. Did you go down?
I did go down, then I forgot that that's the, not progress way. So I went up.
Okay. Oh, I went down and I met the, whoa, hello there. I met the little, the gnarly fella helping out the other guy. I'm just gonna take that bandage, by the way. I don't need the bandage, you can keep it then.
So I'm gonna head back down, actually.
Have a flare. Because, yeah, that's where you find the gnarly guy. And,
Right.
That's more of that great visual storytelling where it's like, oh, you know, I walk into this little hut, I immediately know what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not immediately, but I get a good idea.
Well, certainly.
But yeah, anyway, like I was saying, I find it hilarious that our prisonerman is gets a pistol and goes, "I'm gonna hold it sideways and shoot it fast." That's that's a useful trick.
That's so each weapon in the game, if you're at all familiar with Unreal Tournament, has an alternate fire. And they do in this game as well. And the automag here keeps the enforcer, or the enforcer keeps the automag tradition of hold it sideways to increase the fire speed. So we're at the bottom now, and I saw this a little earlier. This little hopping creature. This is just here. You can kill it. It won't drop anything. This animal serves no purpose, except, again, to show you that this is a world. It's a planet that has stuff on it.
Wildlife. You know how it is.
Yeah. So there is something over there. We'll come back to it. And this isn't just a, what a lot of games do. They're like, oh yeah, look at this cool proof of concept level. Okay, now the rest of the game is. It doesn't really switch it up on you. This game remains big and open and honestly kind of breathtaking throughout, even when it is a little more claustrophobic, with certain later levels that close in then open up again. It doesn't always work out, but we'll talk about that. So yeah, here's what you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Jump up on the table here to read this guy's diary.
As one does.
More minions have been cast down by the angry gods. That's I don't really want to spoil anything, but I do kind of want to talk about it. So just keep in mind that this is not the first time a human vessel has crash-landed on this planet, nor are we the only aliens that these guys have ever seen.
Neat.
So this is a Nali, four-armed, magical, at least levitating, if not magical, denizen of Napali.
I mean, I don't know how much we want to state ahead of time, but it rapidly becomes apparent that those guys are pacifists and also huge pussies. So, there's that.
Yeah. Also, if you go behind the house, like, okay, first of all... Oh, I'm getting murdered by something. There it is. Alright, you were talking about how it actually has a flute in the chimney.
Yes.
Did you go behind the guy's house?
I did.
There is a small pipe where smoke is coming out from the fire that's lit in the fireplace.
Because it's lit. Yes, yes.
And again, it's just more of that little touch that nobody needed to think about it, but they did.
Huh. Because I saw that pipe on the other house, but yeah, this one actually does have smoke coming out. Because, you know, it's the little things. They're important. More or less. Oop. Also, you know, I'm seeing it on my end. You've already passed it, but there's an area where you cross a beam and you get onto another little like cliff thing, and there's nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just there. It doesn't. There's no like ammo pickup or dialogue to be found. It's just there.
Yeah. So I'm in the cave behind this guy's house.
Yes.
And these weird crystals. Oh, pteridium shards. What's pteridium? Well,
is it going to be currency? Who knows? You know. I know.
We both know.
We both know.
Why are there pteridium
Probably like
shards?
90% of the people watching this know, but you know.
I think in that case, we'll let it go on for a little longer, I suppose.
We shall for the like 5 people. Actually, for the 1 person who watches this who's never played it, because there's like 5 people who still haven't played this, and only one of them's probably gonna see it. You know,
yeah.
We'll do our part to preserve the surprise.
It's not really much of a surprise. It's just like the story. The story of Napali. Again, this is not a story about you. You are here because the Vortex Rikers crashed.
Sure did.
The end.
Like, yeah, your story began and ended as soon as you stepped off that ship.
So here we see how if we had gone down into the water, we would come up through this area. But some beautiful underwater stuff. Like, it's pretty bare down here, but they still went to the trouble of putting plants and stuff in. And here's the brother of that lady that we picked up earlier.
Went for help, didn't come back.
And it is, the unfortunate fact of it. This is not a world that's gonna treat us nicely.
No, sir. Don't mind me there, fellas. Just passing through.
So I'm just backtracking up to the top here. So we've come out here in NyLeve's Falls after being, you know, escaping the Vortex Rikers, and we've gone through some sort of installation that's very clearly not natural. It's got electricity and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But footsteps. Oops. It's growling at us. Oh, already? It's not gonna let me pick it up, I guess. I must already have some.
I'm trying to remember where my favourite moment is. I think I'm not far from it.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's such a great thing.
Anyone who's played this knows what we're talking about, but I just can't remember how far in the game it is.
Oh. Yeah. Alright.
Was it started in this. This game had like a ridiculously complex system for handling damage.
Yeah, don't ask me to explain why I'm wearing two different suits of armors and how they interact with each other. It's like stacking percentage based.
Crazy like hierarchy bullshit. The only thing that I like remember from all of that breakdown is that if you have shields, they take damage before anything else, 100% of it, which is useful. It makes the shield belt like very sought after. Yeah.
Now, it was simplified greatly in Unreal Tournament by just having armor and then the shield belt and then your hit points.
Yes.